All right, this is kind of a summary of Unit 3. After you have done these problems, this is going to be a good video that you can use to check yourself, or if you're unsure about how to do a problem, it will explain it to you. So on the first one, we've got y equals negative x plus 5. That's written in the y equals mx plus b format. M is our slope in this case. It's negative 1. Even though there's not a number in front, it's always a 1. And our b is 5. And that is where we're going to begin with our y-intercept, our b. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put a dot at 5. We're going to make our slope into a fraction. That negative tells us we're going to go down 1, right 1. Sorry about that, I just got a phone call. So our slope is negative 1 over 1, so we can go down 1, right 1. If we wanted to, we could also go up 1, left 1. Let's go ahead and go down 1, right 1. And we can do that a couple times. And as I said, we could go up 1, left 1 as well. Then you're going to go ahead and draw your line through those points right there. We should put arrows at the end of it to show that it goes on forever and ever. Let's go ahead and do the next one. Here, my slope is 3 over 2, because that's what's in front of my x. My b is negative 4. Make sure you carry that sign. So you go down 4 on your y-intercept. That's where you begin. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to go up 3, right 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And then I'm going to draw my line again through those points. And that's what it should look like. All right, on number 3, there's a couple different ways that you could approach this. You could do your y2 minus y1. Actually, let's just do that for fun. x1, y1. Every ordered pair has an x and a y. x2, y2. And you need to know the slope. It won't be given to you on the test. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Well, in this case, it's going to be negative 1 minus negative 1 over 0 minus negative 3. I get 0 over 3. 0 divided by anything is 0. I also knew that because it's a horizontal line. Horizontal lines always have a slope of 0. On this one, it's a vertical line. Vertical lines are always undefined. All right, on this one, there's a couple ways that we can approach it, and I'm going to show you both ways. We could do the x1. I guess it doesn't really matter which one we call it. x1, y1, x2, y2. Don't really line up very well on that second one, sorry. So the difference of your y's, y sub 2 is 1, y sub 1 is 2. Then x sub 2 minus x sub 1, that'll be 2 minus negative 2. And I get negative 1/4. I could have also done this with a rise over run. I'm rising 1, and then I'm going to my left 4. It doesn't really matter where that negative sign goes. I usually just put it actually right out in front. But it can go with the 1, it can go with the 4, or it can go out in front. All right, this one, that is in standard form. If it's in standard form, we're going to find our intercepts. That's where we cover something up. So let's find our x-intercept first. Let's cover up our y, and we get 8x equals negative 16. X would equal negative 2. So on our x-axis, we're going to put a dot, small dot, at negative 2. Now we need to find our y-intercept. We're going to cover up our x's, and you get 4y equals negative 16. Y is negative 4. On your y-axis, put a dot at negative 4. Draw your line through your points. There is your line. And then if you wanted to, you could do your slope up 4, left 2, 4 over negative 2, which would be negative 4, or negative 2 for the slope. Sorry, I was thinking of the y-intercept that I forgot to put in there. But the slope would be up 4, left 2, 4 over negative 2, which is negative 2. All right, on these, don't overthink these. You're just plugging things in. They're telling you exactly what to plug into the equation. You're plugging it in negative 2, 0, and 3. So here, we're going to get 3 times negative 2, 3 times 0, 3 times 3. So you end up with negative 6, 0, and 9. You do the same thing here, but you've got now negative 6 minus 3x. So negative 6 minus 3 times negative 2, negative 6 minus 3 times 0, negative 6 minus 3 times 3. Order of operation, it matters. So here you're actually going to get negative 6 plus 6, which is 0, negative 6 minus 0, which is negative 6, and here you get negative 6 minus 9, which is negative 15. Rate of change. When they say rate of change, that is the same thing as slope. Just a second. All right, rate of change is the same thing as slope. So we want to find the difference of our y's over the difference of our x's. So what I do is I notice my x's are going up by 1. My y's, be careful on this one, they're actually going down. They're getting smaller, down by 3. So the difference of my y's is negative 3. The difference of my x's is positive 1. You simplify that and you get negative 3. All right, 9 through 10, we need to find the slope and the y-intercept of each one. Well, this one is written in slope-intercept form, so that's easy. My slope is negative 9. My y-intercept is negative 4. And I think on number 10, if I just put plus 0, you would see that right away. My slope is negative 6. My y-intercept is 0. On number 11, that's not written in slope-intercept form, so we're going to have to put it in slope-intercept form. So I'm going to add 2x to both sides. And when I do that, I get negative 2y equals 2 plus 2x. Divide that by negative 2. And I get y equals negative 1 minus x. Well, I like my x's to come first. So that's going to be y equals negative x minus 1. All I did was I switched my x and my negative x and negative 1 around. So my slope is negative 1. My y-intercept is negative 1. All right, number 12. The function c of x equals 0.56 plus 50 represents the cost in dollars of a one-way truck rental when the truck is driven x miles. So this is my cost, c of x, and this is the number of miles, x. So what is the total cost when the truck is driven 140 miles? Well, you're just going to take 0.56 times 140 plus 50. And that becomes calculator work. I'm getting my calculator out right now. You need to do order of operations on this one. So you take 0.56 times 140, and you get 78.4, and then add 50, and you get 128.4. And we're dealing with money, so we need to put a 0 right there, and that's your answer. For part B, how many miles did you drive when the cost is 76.32? Well, that's our cost. 76.32 equals 0.56 x plus 50. Subtract 50 from both sides, and you get 26.32 equals 0.56 x. Divide by 0.56. So take 26.32 divided by 0.56, and you get 47. That's what I'll put in my answer line, 47 miles. All right, here we have to graph again. And again, this is in standard form. So I'm going to find my x-intercept first. So cover up your y's. And when I do that, I get negative 5x equals 15. X is negative 3. And then you need to find your y-intercept. So cover up your x's. Negative 5y equals negative, or positive, I'm sorry, positive 15. Y is negative 3. So they're both negative 3 in this case. Not the best drawn line, but you get the idea. And then to find your slope, I'm going up 3, left 3. So rise over run, and that's going to give me negative 1. All right, we want to graph this. This, whenever you see x equals, it's going to be vertical. Whenever you see y equals, it's horizontal. You need to memorize that. X goes through the x-axis. And in this case, it's going through the x-axis at 2. And then you just draw your vertical line. Here, this is going through the y-axis at 7. And then you just draw a horizontal line. Rate of change, that's the same thing as slope. Label your x1, y1, x2, y2. And as I've said many times now, you have to have this formula memorized. Y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Your y sub 1 is 1, or I'm sorry, your y sub 2 is 1. Do a minus sign. It's going to be 2. X sub 2 is 2. X sub 1 is negative 3. I'm going to get 1 over 5. All right, is this a relation? No, my x's repeat. X's are not allowed to repeat. Your y's can repeat, your x's cannot. Find the domain and the range. Okay, well, my domain, let's actually do this in another color. Imagine that's a straight line. Well, we might. My mouse is not working well here. Sorry, folks. Let's try this one more time. We'll actually do that. Okay. So, right there, my domain are my x values. We don't want dotted lines on that. So my lowest x value is negative 2. It includes that. And my highest one is 2. Now, we need to find our range. Our range are our y values. There's my highest y. There's my lowest y. So my goes from negative 2. Oops, I see a mistake I made up here. I need to fix that. And my highest y value is 1, 2, 3. I think I was concentrating on my stupid mouse instead of realizing that that needed to be an x right there. So my x's are happening between negative 2 and 2. My y's are happening between negative 2 and 3. All right, number 21. Let F of T be the outside temperature in degrees Fahrenheit. The temperature rises 2 degrees every hour. Well, that means that that's like my slope. Graph F of 0 equals 58. That means when my input is 0, my output is 58. That's my y-intercept too. So I'm just going to say that this is 58. I'm not going to make 58 hash marks. I'm just going to label that it's 58. That's what that is. My slope is how much it's changing. My rate of change, it's changing 2 degrees every hour. So my slope is 2, and my y-intercept is where it started, at 58. So that sounded like it was going to be a tough problem, but it was pretty easy. Hope you enjoyed.